Ms. Smiley, recent polls have shown that Americans are worried about crime rates. How should Congress address crime across the nation when most funding and reforms for law enforcement is decided at a local level?
It's also decided at the federal level as well. We have a crime crisis in Washington State. It doesn't matter if you live in Spokane or you live in Asotin County or you're up in the San Juan Islands. I've been everywhere. And crime is on the rise everywhere. My opponent, Senator Murray, June of 2020, she went on the Senate floor and she called for funds to be diverted from our police force. And then she disappeared and she went into hiding. And what I've heard all over Washington State is, in fact, we didn't hear from her until she came out attacking you directly, Tiffany, in June. Our cities are being destroyed by crime. Our police are not being supported. In addition to the crime, we have fentanyl all over our streets. I went to a homeless encampment to help clean it up and understand what their barriers to help were. We're allowing a humanitarian crisis to unfold right before our eyes. We're allowing people to poison themselves to death, and we do nothing. Just go along with DC and do nothing. What I will do in my agenda for recovery and reform is ensure that our police officers have access to federal grants for $5,000 retention and recruiting bonuses. I will work closely with prosecutors, especially Seattle City Attorney Ann Davison, to make sure that we prosecute repeat offenders. There are things we can do. We can ensure that Title 42 is never lifted until we have a plan for a secure border. These are things that play into crime. And crime's out of control. Patty Murray's to blame. You can look at her record by going to pattyversuspublicsafety.com.
Your time is up. Thank you. Ms. Murray, you have 90 seconds.
We just heard a whole slew of things that I'd love to take time to rebut, but let me just say this. Crime is an issue that everyone needs to address at the local, at the state, and at the federal level. That is exactly why, under the American Rescue Plan that every single Republican voted for and Tiffany Smiley said she opposed, we put resources in there for our police officers so they could stay on the job and fight. And our communities are using that funding now and need to continue to. In that slew of a response, you did not hear anything about gun violence. This is an issue we need to address. After Uvalde, we made some small steps at the federal level, but we need to ban dangerous weapons. We need to ban assault weapons. We need to make sure that we have really good background checks and enforce our ability to make sure that those who are dangerous do not have guns. That is what I fight for, because gun violence is a part of this. And the other part she didn't address is mental health. I am working right now with a Republican colleague. We hope to pass a bill by the end of this year to help with mental health resources for our frontline workers, making sure that they have beds, that they have training, that they have the capability to help people with one of the most critical issues we face in this country today, mental health and substance use disorder.